The year is 410 AD. Rome is dying. Outside its walls stands Alaric, a Gothic king, and his army. He has Rome surrounded. The greatest empire in history is on its knees, begging for mercy. So, what does Alaric demand as ransom to spare the city? Gold, silver, land? No, he demands 3,000 pounds of black pepper, tiny wrinkled black seeds. And Rome pays it. Somewhere inside that demand is a secret about power, obsession, and a spice so valuable it once brought empires to their knees. Let's find out what it is. Picture this: a Roman senator is hosting an elegant dinner party. On the table sits a small bronze container. He opens it slowly, almost reverently, and sprinkles a few dark specks over his food. His guests lean in. This isn't seasoning, it's a statement. At this table, pepper isn't measured like ordinary food. It's tracked like treasure, guarded in warehouses, and sometimes even used to pay taxes and rent. Now, here's the question nobody in that room is asking, but they should be. Why would anyone pay so much for something that doesn't fill your stomach, doesn't cure disease, and grows wild on a hillside nearly 9,000 kilometers away? Here's the twist: pepper isn't rare because it's magical, it's rare because of geography, and because almost nobody in Europe has any idea where it actually comes from. That mystery is exactly what makes it priceless. Here's something almost nobody knows. For more than 1,000 years, the people buying pepper in Rome, Venice, and London had no idea it grew on a vine in the humid hills of southern India on a coast called Malabar. Arab traders controlled every step of the journey: camel caravans, desert crossings, hidden ports, and they weren't about to reveal where the pepper came from. So they told stories instead. One legend claimed pepper trees were guarded by deadly snakes, and harvesters had to burn the forest just to collect it, scorching the peppercorns black in the process. Terrifying, completely false, brilliant marketing. Every hand the pepper passed through added another markup: Indian farmers, Arab traders, Venetian merchants. By the time it reached a London kitchen, those tiny black seeds had crossed deserts, seas, and nearly a dozen middlemen, each one taking a cut. So the real question changes. It was never really about the pepper, it was about who controlled the secret of the pepper. And one nation was about to risk everything to steal that secret: Lisbon, the late 1400s. A Portuguese sailor named Vasco da Gama stands on the deck of a ship, staring at an ocean no European vessel has ever crossed. His mission sounds almost impossible: sail around the entire continent of Africa, avoid the Arab trade routes, and find the source of pepper. Storms nearly destroy the fleet. Disease kills more than half his crew. There are no maps, no guarantees, no certainty that the ocean even leads anywhere. And yet, in 1498, Vasco da Gama reaches the Malabar coast of India. He finds it, the source, the forests where pepper grows, sold at a fraction of its European price. When the surviving ships finally return to Portugal, their cargo is worth 60 times the cost of the entire voyage. One trip, one astonishing profit. That single number changes history. Every European kingdom now wants its own route to pepper. Spain funds Christopher Columbus, hoping to reach those same spice lands by sailing west. Instead, he discovers an entirely different continent. Think about that. Black pepper is part of the reason Europeans discovered the Americas. One tiny seed helped launch the age of exploration. At its peak, pepper wasn't just expensive, it became money. Rent was paid in pepper, dowries were paid in pepper, taxes, tributes, even bribes, all settled with peppercorns. There's even a phrase that survives today: peppercorn rent, a payment so symbolic it's almost nothing, yet born from a time when just a handful of pepper was worth a fortune. Merchant families built empires, wars were fought, colonies were established, all to control one tiny black seed. Today, you can buy a jar of black pepper for less than a cup of coffee. It sits quietly in kitchens around the world, almost unnoticed. But the next time you reach for it, remember what it once was: a currency, a secret, a reason kings paid ransoms and explorers risked death on unmapped oceans. Black pepper didn't just season food, it helped draw the modern map of the world, and it all started with one simple idea. The rarest thing in the world isn't gold, it isn't silver, it isn't jewels. It's information that nobody else has. Pepper was never valuable because of what it was. It was valuable because of what people didn't know. So let me leave you with one question. What other everyday object in your kitchen has a secret history like this? You'd be surprised how many do.